Hi, my name is Jesse Clay, and this is my vlog for the new student dialogue portion of Library 100. The new student dialogue I attended was based on alcohol, and um, the dialogue session we broke up into two groups, and I mean it was an interesting discussion, but I don't feel that it was a true dialogue because not everyone was participating. We only had about two to three main people in our group that participated fully, while everyone else just kind of sat back, listened, maybe agreed with a statement that someone made, but didn't really contribute too much to the overall group. Um, that kind of ties in to the voices in our group. I mean, we had, like I said, we had two or three main contributors that kind of led the forefront with ideas for the group, and the other people kind of agreed, didn't really contribute too much, and were pretty reserved. Um, and that was mainly in the overall setting. When we broke into smaller groups, however, the participation increased as we had less people together at one time. Felt like it was easier to talk. Um, we did a T-chart between the differences between the perceptions of alcohol use in high school versus college, and that was a really unique way to get people to participate because, first of all, since it was perceptions as opposed to their own life, they were more likely to contribute because it was just what people think in general as opposed to something about themselves that they might not want to share with everyone. And also that since it was a smaller group, people felt more comfortable, less people were listening, and that led to a lot more participation. Personally, I felt that I was more of one of the active contributors. I talked several times, both in the large group and the small group in general, and I think if everyone were to contribute that way, it would be a lot more meaningful dialogue, and we could get a lot more ideas out there because it would have been cool to hear what everyone had to say, but people just weren't participating. Um, I think that the dialogue is a component of Library 100 because verbal communication is key, especially when you get out in the real world looking for a job. An interview obviously isn't going to be on paper, something you write. It's going to be something you have to do face to face and talk with people, especially when you actually get the job. There'll be meetings and stuff where there are a lot of people present, and you have to communicate effectively in order to further the progress of the company or whatever you're doing. Um, in terms of dialogues in the college setting, I think that they can be helpful, but as when they're forced, it's not as meaningful because people aren't contributing because they want to. They're contributing because they feel they need to, and a lot of people don't contribute, period. And so that leads to a lot of ideas coming up that are repetitive because people just want to say something so it seems like they're participating and they're getting noticed. Whereas if it was something people were actually interested in, they'd be able to contribute as much or as little as they want and could um, just bring ideas that they actually thought of themselves, that they actually feel about themselves, or whatever the topic may be. But I think that the the overall dialogue experience, it was real repetitive, and it was almost monotonous in the fact that felt like almost no one really wanted to be there, so they weren't really participating as fully as they could, and we weren't getting as many good ideas across after maybe 5 minutes. People were just repeating the same things, a lot of silence, not participating at all, and the leaders were doing most of the talking, which is good to continue the dialogue setting that we were in. However, it would have been better if everyone could have participated. And that's my thoughts on the new student dialogue that I attended.